Today I want to talk to you about my retail arbitrage mobile office. I want to give you an insider's look at the tools that I use, my thought process when it comes to retail arbitrage, the things that I take with me every time I go out and do retail arbitrage, and I want to give you kind of an insider's look at that today. I'm out doing retail arbitrage today. I'm taking a moment to, record this video for you, and I just want to let you know, there's so many different ways to do retail arbitrage. The things that I use, they're not all of them are necessary, but they work for me. They've helped me save me time. They helped streamline a lot of what I'm doing and make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row and everything good. The first thing that I use with retail arbitrage is obviously my phone. Most people who do retail arbitrage, some of them can do retail arbitrage with tablets and stuff, but I use my phone. I don't use a tablet or carry a tablet around while I'm going to stores, but I use my phone. I use, I go back and forth sometimes between using the Scoutify scanning app and the Profit Bandit scanning app. And I love both of those. They're both really good. They both incur a charge, but they are worth it in my opinion. Scoutify comes in a package when you set yourself up for the listing service of Inventory Lab. You can find out more about that. fulltimefba.com/Inventory Lab. And Scoutify is the app that I'm able to scan the item while I'm doing retail arbitrage, and it gives me the what Amazon deems as the most competitive prices that other people are selling it at, and on the sales rank, the category, access to camel, and Keepa information, so that I can make my best decision to buy. I do not use the Amazon seller app to during retail arbitrage to make my buying purchases, because they don't give me enough information. I need Scoutify or Profit Bandit, and they're both awesome. So that's the first thing I use is my phone. The second thing I make sure I have is a plan. I have a plan. This is my map for today. I am going around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've got stops that I'm going to be going to. When it comes to making a plan for retail arbitrage, most times you don't just want to go out and just be like, oh, I'm just going to drive around and look for something, see if anything jumps out at me. No, you want to plan. If you're going to garage sales, you want to make sure that you plan ahead and you make a route so that you can just, go to the, address to address, find the best route to save you the most time. If you're going to, visit all the Targets in a certain city, or all the Walmarts, or all the TJ Maxx, whatever you try to do, make a plan, because the plan helps you stick to it. It makes sure that you don't get distracted. It makes sure that you don't lose track of the momentum that you're having, and it helps you're like, man, my first 2 stops were really bad, and you could be thinking that my first 2 stops were really bad, I'm just going to call it a day. But if you actually spent the time to make 10 stops, then you're like, what, but I've already put the time into making a plan. I'm going to keep going. Maybe I'll have some good stuff. If you're looking for an app on your phone that can help you, I think they have it online too. If you're looking for one that helps you make a route that's the quickest, it's called EnRoute. It's an app called EnRoute. I use Google Maps on my desktop usually. That's what this is. Went to Google Maps, entered in the addresses, and figured out the best route for me. So it just printed up. So that's the second thing. It's making sure that you have a plan, you've got maps, you know what you're doing. Some people like to go to certain areas for retail arbitrage, and they're like, I'm going to hit every store in this one strip center. And that works too. But just make sure you have a plan and you stick to it. So that's the second thing. The third thing is, make sure you have backup chargers. I've got this backup charger that works really well for me, because if I'm spending a long time doing retail arbitrage, I'm going to eat up my phone's power. I want to make sure I have battery backup. And sometimes charging the car, or charging my phone in the car between stops, sometimes isn't good enough. I need to continue to charge my phone even while I'm scanning sometimes. In fact, today's first stop, there were 3 aisles packed with clearance items, and I went from 90% on my phone down to about 30% just in that stop, and I'm glad I had my backup. And on top of the backup, you really want to make sure you have a backup for your backup. So I've got multiple backup chargers so that if this one runs out or it's not fully charged or it, breaks down, I've got a backup for my backup. So it's always just good to be prepared. And of course, when you're done doing retail arbitrage, charge these bad boys back up so that you, are able to keep going, because you don't want to have those just die on you. Yeah, you don't want your phone to die when you're doing retail arbitrage. I mean, that's the life source. How much for a portable charger? Sometimes they're $10, sometimes they're $15. So there's different kinds. You want to one of the tips with one tip when trying to find a charger to purchase is to read the reviews, because sometimes there are chargers that might give you an extra hour. You don't want to buy a charger that'll give you an extra hour of battery power. You want to have a charger that will give you, 5 hours, 10 hours. You want to have a powerful charger, and those cost more, but they're worth more. And you want to be sure that you have a charger that will give you the reliability and give you the power that you need to keep sourcing throughout the day. If you have a big day plan of sourcing, you want to have a good, powerful charger. You get what you pay for, so always think about that. All right, the fourth thing that I like to bring when I'm doing retail arbitrage is this. This is my Contigo stainless steel water bottle, 20 ounces of cold water. And I say cold water because the stainless steel, when I got this, it changed my water drinking habits a lot because it stays cold. You want to make sure you're hydrated. You don't want to be filling up on sodas and things that are not good for you. You want to be sure you have the energy that you need to source well, and this keeps my water cold all day. And I'm kind of a water snob. I really don't like drinking water that's lukewarm or kind of even sort of cold. I love my water ice cold. So I get my water bottle, fill it up with ice and water, and it helps me drink more, keeps me hydrated, keeps me focused. So this is something I cannot leave home without. And yeah, my wife calls me a water snob. I'm okay with that, because I love this. This is one of my favorite purchases of last year or 2 years ago. I don't know. I've had it for so long. I love it. So water bottle. Another thing I like to bring with me when I'm doing retail arbitrage is a Scotty Peeler. Scotty Peelers are amazing. They are a tool that if there's a sticker that's covering a barcode, I just take it and I peel it off. And yes, I do this in the store sometimes. You know what? I'm not shy. I'm not trying to steal something. I'm not trying to, be sneaky. I'm not trying to switch price tags on stuff. I'm just wanting to look under. And if there's ever an employee that has a problem with it, I'll tell them what I'm doing. But in doing this, doing retail arbitrage since 2011, I've never had anybody even ask me any questions. So this is Scotty Peeler. It's been a lifesaver many times when I'm out doing retail arbitrage. So that's something I'm sure that I use all the time. So number 5 was Scotty Peeler. Number 6 is gift cards. I have gift cards that I use when I'm doing retail arbitrage. I buy my gift cards, most of them on Raise. If you go to fulltimefba.com/Raise, it will take you right to their website. You use the coupon code TAKE5, TAKE, and then the number 5 on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A lot of times that's a coupon code that'll give you an extra 5% off. They sometimes advertise that, they sometimes don't. It's on different stores at different times, but I use gift cards all the time, and I'll, if I find a good deal for a gift card, I'll buy it. So I've got lots of inventory money right here in gift cards, so be sure you use that. And going along with the gift cards, I make sure that there's a marker in my car too, because when I use the gift card, I want to write on the back of the card how much is left, and I want to do it right when I get back in the car. I get the gift card, I use it, and then I scratch out whatever was left the last time, and I write in the next amount that is left on the card. So I do that a lot because it's a lifesaver for me. The next thing I do is I keep track of my mileage. Now I just have a little post-it note, and I'll show you really quickly. Post-it note over here, hey, mileage, and so I see that, and it reminds me, flip this back around, and it reminds me to keep track of my mileage, to write it down. Most of the time when I'm doing retail arbitrage, I'll just write my mileage down on the map that I have. But there's some awesome apps out there that can also track your mileage. There's Track My Mileage app. There's one called Mile IQ. There's one called MileBot. There's another one, MileBug. So there's a lot of little apps that can track your mileage for you. But you want to be sure that you track your mileage so that you have everything written down. You can, because the miles that you use are tax deductible. You want to be sure that you let your accountant or CPA or whatever know, so that because these are work miles. You want to be sure that you get the proper deduction. So next thing I use when I'm out doing retail arbitrage, and I'm getting it ready here. Next thing I use are my headphones hooked up to my phone, and I'm listening to really good quality podcasts, or I'm listening to an audio book. So I might be listening to the book Start With Why, listening to that, learning about new things, hearing podcasts. One of my favorite podcasts is the E-commerce Momentum, hosted by Steven Peterson. If you're not listening to the E-commerce Momentum podcast, you need to. It's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. Just really challenges me, helps me take my Amazon business. And so I'll do that while I'm scanning. I'll have that playing in the background, and while I'm scanning and making my decisions on what I'm going to buy for reselling. Sometimes I need to pause it to really kind of stop and think about what I'm doing with the purchases I'm making. But most of the time, the things that I'm going to end up buying are pretty easy decisions to make. And so I like learning while I am buying. So his podcast is awesome. Yeah, Steven is awesome. He's got a great first name, so he's got to be awesome. Steven Peterson with the E-commerce Momentum podcast. So be learning, be continuing to grow. A lot of times you're like, I don't have any time to listen to an audiobook. I don't have, while you're outsourcing, that could be a really good time. But I do know that some people can't do those things at the same time. And so maybe you can just listen to it in the car when you're going from one stop to the next. So that's something that you can do. Another thing that I use when I'm out doing retail arbitrage, and my wife laughs at me about this, but I wear my Lucky shirt. All right, I got my Lucky shirt. That's Bucky. There's a gas station in Texas, a gas station chain called Buckys. And yes, this is number 9. I wear my Lucky shirt. My Lucky shirt, Buckys. I always wear it when I'm outsourcing. And for some reason, it just really helps me. It doesn't help me do anything. It's just fun. I just like wearing this, and I always have good hauls. Most of the people in Texas who know about Buckys, they almost always mention it. I don't think I've gone a day where I've worn this worn the Buckys T-shirt doing retail arbitrage where I haven't had somebody say something about it. So Buckys, if you don't know what Buckys is, it is like the Walmart of gas stations or something like that. It's like the super gas station where it has everything. It's the biggest gas station. There's like 80 gas pumps, and I'm not over exaggerating. And then it's almost, it's huge. So it's a big place. So yeah, you should just come to Buckys. Just come to Texas just for Buckys. All right. And the last thing, and then we'll finish this up. The last thing I bring with me when I'm doing retail arbitrage is an abundance mindset. This could make or break your business. It could make or break your retail arbitrage day. When you're going out there, you really do need to have the abundance mindset. When you walk into a store, grab a cart. Imagine you're going to be filling this cart up. Think positive. We always grab a cart anytime we go to a retail arbitrage store that we're going to be spending some time in, and because we're just expecting to find things. We know that there are just so many things out there. We'll run out of money before we run out of things to find to buy for reselling on Amazon, and that's just how much stuff is out there. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's over 150 or so people on Facebook that are in the FBA, in DFW Facebook group. I mean, there's an FBA Facebook group just for those in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's over 150 people in that group. Plus, I'm assuming more people who aren't in the group but still do Amazon FBA. And I'm still able to find items to make a full-time income on Amazon. It's sometimes hard to move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, because a lot of times we're using our experiences to decide the mindset that we're going to have. And a lot of times if you go to a couple of stores and you don't find things, it's easy to feel defeated. But it's one of those things where you want to try to look back into the times that you've had really good success. You want to be able to go back and remember how you felt, you remember how it was, and understand it's all a process. There's going to be places that you go that have a lot of great items where you overflow a cart and you need to go grab another one. And there's items where you go and there's an empty cart, and that's okay. You spend like 30 minutes in a store and you come back with nothing. That's okay. It's all part of the process, and it's those who keep pressing on, those who continue to learn while they're sourcing, those who are trying new things, scanning as many items as they can. Those are the ones that are going to break through and start finding trends, start finding patterns of certain toys that are always good to resell. They're going to start finding items that you're like, why would anybody pay this much for this item? But they do. And it just takes time. So it's the abundance mindset is just something that is the foundation for a successful Amazon business. And so if you don't have that, it's important to try to work towards that. And accountability helps. It helps talking it through with other people. And just the more experience that you have, the more you're going to be able to transition into that abundance mindset. So those are the 10 things that I'm sure I'm always taking with me every time I go out doing retail arbitrage. And I hope this has helped you, given you some ideas, and help you become more successful with your retail arbitrage plans. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate a little thumbs up below. That would be really cool. And if you have a comment or a question, you can do that below too. I'll do my best to reply as soon as I can. And if you want to see any of the links that I talked about during this video, click on the description below. You'll find the links there. You'll be able to go quickly to right where you're wanting to go. And if you want to be sure you don't miss out on any upcoming videos, be sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified when I have new videos come out, and you won't miss out on any of the free Amazon FBA training that goes on right here. And if you want to find out more about me and Full-Time FBA, head on over to the website, fulltimefba.com. Once you're there, you can click subscribe. You can get some free PDFs that will help your Amazon FBA business become easier. And take a look at the blog. We have a lot of tutorials, blog posts, videos, and resources that can help you make Amazon your full-time job with only spending part-time hours. Some good stuff. I hope to see you there, so be sure you click subscribe. I will talk to y'all later. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.